You make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
All right, good evening. Welcome into Greeny Sports Cards Live, the world's first multi-stream broadcast for the hobby industry. We are in episode 104 as this train continues rolling on week over week at 7 p.m. Eastern, as we do every Tuesday night. And we'll be here till 8 p.m. with you live, and then you can catch the replay amongst a plethora of social media platforms. But you may be joining us across Facebook or Twitter. Maybe that Twitter's having some issues these days, but Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn. And if you are, go ahead and comment on the show. You can do that in real time and join us for interaction. If you have questions for any of us or our guests or comments, this is an interactive show and we encourage your participation as we continue to bring you hobby content week over week. And let's set the stage for what's going to happen tonight. We have a fat show for this Fat Tuesday, as it were, and we'll give it to you here in the rundown. Fat show, as I said, we've got the top 10 Fat Tuesday All-Stars coming up. Little quick segment for you as we will segue onto quick hits, give you the top news headlines of the hobby world in our hobby hits, and then we'll have an expanded edition of hobby news with our resident hobby insider, Joe Wismierski, out of Phoenix Cards Shop, actually Phoenix Sports Cards. And we will continue to go coast to coast as we do every week and bring you the hottest card shows across the country that you can look forward to in your neck of the woods or travel to across the country. So we will go from Rhode Island to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've got Louisiana checking in. We have Nashville, the National show coming up this weekend. And here locally, Kirtland, Ohio, Greeny has a show of our own. So we will continue to bring you the shows this week. We have a special Rippin' with the Roadman segment, courtesy of Kenny Rhoda, WHBC Radio. He spent time with Pro Football Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas, and they ripped some packs, and we will bring you that segment as well. Tonight, we will talk with Luke out of the Louisiana Card Con and check in with what's going on down there in the southern part of the country. And we will stay in that area for Ricky Line, who will join us as part of the Nashville Card Show. So lots to get to tonight. So we will get to it here and talk about the hobby hits. So this week, first up, Topps Rip Night is almost here. Of course, that's coming up this Saturday, February 21st, with hobby shops worldwide hosting pack ripping parties, trade sessions, and giveaways. It's a global celebration of the hobby and collecting designed to bring the community together. Here locally, we recommend, if you're in the Cleveland area, you're going to want to check out Bomber Sports Cards. They have Hanford Dixon, the top dog himself, will be there from 5:30 to 7, but Bomber will have lots of stuff celebrating Topps Rip Night with giveaways and break giveaway spots, free food. They're out there in Broadview Heights, and you'll want to check them out. Other news will be coming up with Bomber hosting a trade night after the Greeny Sports Cards Broadview show. So that is Topps Rip Night. So make sure you check that out in your neck of the woods on Saturday, the 21st. Of course, the news, multiple outlets reporting, if you have not seen this already, Logan Paul's Pikachu Illustrator card just shattered the all-time record for an auction. His PSA 10 Illustrator sold through Golden for $16.492 million, officially becoming the most expensive trading card ever sold, as verified by Guinness World Records. Moving on, February releases are hitting hard. The 2026 Topps Series 1 Baseball dropped on February 11th, kicking off the hobby's flagship season with a 75th anniversary design. It's a 350 card base set and heavy rookie buzz. And Topps quietly confirmed the expanded print runs for 2026 Series 1 due to anniversary demand. They are saying this is not, quote, a junk wax spike, but it's rather a controlled increase tied to the 75th anniversary celebration. So on top of Series 1, Athlon Collectibles confirms that 2026 is a rookie heavy year. You've got MLB's 75th anniversary powering this lineup, Topps Series 1, as I mentioned, Prism Football, and Upper Deck Series 2 hockey. So, and then concluding our quick hobby hits tonight, Sports Collectors Daily is reporting two things. A massive 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle PSA 8 has surfaced in a private to public consignment. The card is heading to auction this spring and expected to challenge the multi-million-dollar tier again, as a rare high-grade mantle hitting the market always moves the needle. And Sports Collectors Daily is also reporting a sealed 1986-87 Fleer basketball box was authenticated and is also heading to auction. This, of course, one of the rarest sealed products in the hobby, with potential Michael Jordan rookie card packs inside. That is expected to draw 7 figures in bidding. So that is your quick hobby hits for the week. More coming up with Joe Wismerski in our hobby news segment. And with that, we will go ahead and welcome in the man himself, Steve Greenberg, aka Greeny.
Good evening, Jeremy. Good evening. Another beautiful Tuesday, warm Tuesday here in Cleveland, Ohio.
It is. It's shorts weather here in Cleveland, crossing the 50-degree barrier.
Well, I got news for you. It's clean up the backyard dog stuff. You know, all the snow melted, and I'm sure my mother's watching. I was out there for a half hour today, cleaning up a lot of peaches. That's
Greeny,
what
you
happens
deal with a
when it
lot of
gets warm.
crap, literally and figuratively. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't I know it?
So we've got a lot to get to, Greeny, tonight, but in honor of the NBA All-Star Game, and of course it is Fat Tuesday, so we went ahead and prepared the Greeny Fat Tuesday All-Stars. So we're going to walk through, and you have not seen this yet, so we're going to give you the top 10 Fat Tuesday All-Stars. We've got 10 by top 10 list along with an honorable mention, so we'll get to it, and you'll see how this will go pretty quickly.
Can we guess any of these first?
Yeah, go. You know what? Go ahead and guess, and I would welcome if we miss anybody. This is the interactive part of the show, of course.
Because I'm not quite sure if we're going like Fat Lever Tuesday, or are we going Oliver Miller Tuesday?
So leading off, Greeny, we're going Fat Lever as on our Greeny Fat Tuesday All-Stars. So yeah, who else comes to mind?
You know, Oliver Miller was one that might be a larger human being. I don't know if he's made onto the list. An older Sean Kemp might have made it onto that list.
Okay.
Mel Turpin might have made it onto that list.
He did make it onto the list. Mel Turpin checks in at number 2. Dinner Bell Mel.
Okay. I mean, I could be thinking all day. So let's pull up a few others here.
So let's get to it. And if we missed them, of course, chime in with your own Fat Tuesday All-Stars. We had, of course, Fat Lever, Dinner Bell Mel Turpin. Big Sexy Bartolo Colon is on that list. Spent time, of course, here in Cleveland. Bartolo Colon. William the Refrigerator Perry is on our Fat Tuesday All-Stars. We try to be respectful. You know, we're not calling people fat, but these are either appropriate nicknames or relative girth. Pablo Sandoval.
We saw him
Kung
last
Fu
year.
Panda.
He was playing for I don't know who against the Charleston Dirty Birds during the Mountain State Collectors Convention.
We saw a lot of him last year. Yes, we did. So good Fat Tuesday to Kung Fu Panda. Fernando Valenzuela. This takes me back nostalgically to my youth, certainly chasing rookie cards of Fernando and how desired those cards were at that time. So Fernando Valenzuela, rest in peace there. Fat Freddie Fitzsimmons, pitcher going back to 1933 Gowdy card. Anybody with a fat nickname is an honorary all-star. Big Baby Glenn Davis is on this list. And we will round out Fat Tuesday. Actually, we've got two more with Big Country Bryant Reeves there. And then we will round this out with any list, particularly baseball, would have to include the Sultan of SWAT, Babe Ruth himself. So there you have it.
Happy Fat Tuesday.
Happy Fat Tuesday. If Mardi Gras had a baseball team, Babe Ruth would bat cleanup. And we've got one more, an honorable mention here. Zion Williamson. He is half the man he used to be. So happy Fat Tuesday, everybody. And there you have it. So
a lot happened this week. So
yeah, we're gonna get to. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say with Joe. I want to bring him in. I want to talk about this Logan Paul Pikachu, and there's a few other things. So let's try to get that in here. Hey,
gentlemen, I'll be the guy
you
since
get
I have
shorter?
the microphone
Did
to
you get
do
shorter?
it. I think I got the angle, so I look a little better.
Okay.
Kind of so that forehead doesn't get any bigger. But you forgot Robert Tractor Trailer. That would have been a phenomenal guy. And then also, did any of you take part in my people's part of Fat Tuesday? Any punchkis?
So no, that's a big deal here in Cleveland. They line up at this. There's one place that they make them. I don't know the name offhand, but
probably wonderful people.
Yeah, they're wonderful people. They make wonderful poochkies, poxies, donuts, whatever you call them.
Pizakis, however you pronounce them. So, all right, Joe, take it away. Hobby news.
Well, I really don't want to talk about it, but I will talk about it. It was nonstop, Steve. It was going on. They live streamed the auction. It kept going and going. They did great with their social media too. Every million got another post. They rung a bell. And essentially a gentleman who bought it, what I heard was he
they both of them, right? Were they both in the room?
Yes. He used 25% of his father's wealth to purchase the card. It's pretty insane. I mean, it did bring a culmination to the season 3 of the King of Collectibles. But, we're talking about that card in the shop today, and people that are involved in gaming are like hardcore about that card. They're like, that card's been graded 3 different times, and all of like the backstories on that card. I mean, it's amazing. It tells you where we are with the hobby. People are looking at these as legitimate assets. If you're an investor, Logan Paul went from purchasing that card for a little over $5 million in 5 years. It now sold for 16, to the point that
that leads
he was
me to
able to actually rip $1 million box live on stream.
He did afterwards. I didn't see that.
He did, yes. Yeah, because he made light of it, because if you remember, he was supposed to do this big break with first edition Pokemon, and then he opened the box and it was G.I. Joe cards.
G.I. Joe,
the BBC wrapped one. So they made a big deal when they cut it and opened it up. It was actually first edition packs inside it. So pretty big deal. But the other piece of that, Steve, is that like they were really hyping up the diamond encrusted, I think it was like $80,000 holder for it. He wore it at WrestleMania, all these other pieces that you really tangibly could not put a value on. So that also drove some of the price.
But I'm wondering, because people are talking about cards like this as alternative assets. Kevin O'Leary, right? Who's just talking about something that's going to be on his Fox Friends and News thing about some card that he's about to show that's $50 million that he's going to buy. I don't know if you saw that. Why didn't somebody like him buy this card, right? Because of the few things you said, it's been graded 3 times. It's got this, whatever. I wonder if the actual, and I'm not saying this guy doesn't have money because $16 million is an awful lot of money, but the people that are looking at cards as a future investment or alternative asset, why did they not buy this?
Yeah, I mean, the individuals that are really involved in the TCG stuff, they're very, very big into the artwork of the card, right, Steve? So they look at it like you would be buying a Picasso or that type of like painting. It's not necessarily based off of the performance of the character. So some people that they just really struggle with being able to separate the two, or even use one to influence the other. And I think that's where you kind of miss out on a Kevin O'Leary. They in his group, they know sports cards, and that's what they're trying to do really well.
Yeah, but Kevin O'Leary himself knows art and all those types
Correct.
of different assets. He certainly doesn't know cards, but he knows how to spend his money.
Well, Steve, there's a lot of interesting pieces about this card too, because supposedly it's not completely owned by Logan Paul either. There were like pieces of that card that were initially sold off.
Yes.
So
yes, like little shares of it. Correct.
right. So that also could be a struggle for someone looking to invest in that card, because there could be some issues down the line of paying other people out if they didn't get their money on what they owed from the card.
Yeah, there's a
So,
few websites that do that. I know somebody that owns some shares of some cards, and I don't know, right? I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I don't know the companies that are actually holding them to rely on them to pay you out.
well, Steve, not owning shares in the card, but people that are going in as groups now with the release of Topps 2026 flagship baseball. When Topps kind of lingered that or dangled that 52 mantle redemption out there, we've seen a huge uptick in people wanting to buy the product.
Got me to open a box.
Yeah. Did you open a hobby or jumbo?
I opened a hobby.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What was your hit? Did you have an autograph or a relic?
I got a Junior Caminero jersey card.
Okay. Not terrible. Not terrible. But not what we're looking for.
No.
I mean, what I've seen this past week just opened in shop, the silver packs, a Jack Caglione auto to 50. Frank Thomas die cut on the 75th anniversary auto, like on-card auto. There is some good stuff, but it is flagship baseball, right? So you're going to get a lot of bulk, you're going to get a lot of base, but right now going on in the shop behind me, I mean, we're dealing with like our Super Bowl right now, which is spring training, where we have all of the families, all the autographers that come in. They're looking for singles. They're looking for things that they can take out to spring training to get signed. And it's just been busy nonstop. So to say that the hobby might be in a lull or things are going on, I mean, we couldn't be further from that being an accurate statement.
Yeah, that's awesome. Spring training, pitchers and catchers reported. That is a huge place to get autographs in the Valley. I think last count, what is it, 18 teams, something like that there. So
and we should have a couple of there should be a couple of exhibition World Baseball Classic games that are going to be here too. So that then brings guys who may have been in Florida, out here, and a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, that kind of stuff. So we're excited. Tons of autographs, lots of memorabilia, Uncle memorabilia.
Guys do a lot of memorabilia down there in Phoenix Sports Cards. So that's terrific. Good for you guys. I hope you get a lot of autographs your way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Joe, real quick, you got anything going on for Rip Night on Saturday?
Saturday, I mean, it's for us, we're Rip Day here at Phoenix Sports Cards. We service customers all throughout the day, so we'll be handing out packs. Come on in, check us out. We're really, really stacked with singles. So if you're looking for a specific player to go out and get autographed, or you're just looking to collect, we're going to be the place for you. So definitely check us out. We're open 10 till 6, and we'll be celebrating all day.
Good
And
stuff.
where is that physically and online?
Well, Jeremy, we thank you so much for asking and clarifying. We're at 59th and Thunderbird. We share the parking lot with the pizza place, so it's a phenomenal place. If a few kids want to go in, check it out with mom and dad, and someone wants to go get pizza next door, perfect. There's yogurt on the other side. Just a great environment for you, number one. You can also see us at PHX Sports Cards online.
Great spot. I've been there.
Yeah, fantastic. And you can check me out on Cut the Nonsense Wednesdays, 7:30, I think. No,
big episode
8:30.
Tomorrow night. Oh, you're at 8:30 now. Not
Large. 8. Well,
Okay.
just check us out.
A Fat Wednesday.
8. Well, really, it's recorded, so they can watch you whenever.
Yeah. All right, Joe, thank you as always for joining us. That's our resident hobby insider, Joe Wismirski at Phoenix Sports Cards.
Nonsense.
Cut the nonsense. Greeny, we're going to keep it rolling. We do want to thank Dave and his team at Sport Card Auctions. If you're looking to turn your collection into serious cash, make sure you get a hold of the team at Sport Card Auctions. Go to sportcardauctions.com. They've got 15 years plus experience, a 99% satisfaction rating. If you have no clue on where to start with auctions, they will handle everything for you, from professional authentication to shipping and listing. Just send them your cards. They'll take care of the photography. They'll list it for you, and they'll sell it for you, and then you reap the rewards of that. So your cards get the spotlight they deserve at Sport Card Auctions. Go to sportcardauctions.com.
That simple.
It's that simple. Greeny, next up, we have a very special segment. Our guy, Kenny Rhoda, the Roadman, has been opening packs, ripping with the Roadman, packs provided by Greeny Sports Cards. And this week he had none other than Pro Football Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas. And they spent some time ripping, and we'll give you a taste of what they did. Haley, go ahead and run that, please.
Welcome to another edition of Rippin' with the Roadman. You know what we do. We rip cards. And how about this? Look at this. It's a gold jacket. You know what that means. That's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and not any Pro Football Hall of Famer, the Thurminator. Thurman Thomas joining us here today to rip some cards. And how about this? My buddy Steve Greenberg from Greeny Sports Cards sent us some packs of football cards from 1989. They haven't been opened, but they're frayed. That's how old they are, right? These are 40 years old.
Oh, my God.
And this happens to be your rookie year. Now, I already have a rookie card of yours that I'll show everybody.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find this in these packs. But let's rip these cards, Thurman Thomas.
Let's do it.
See if we can find you, but you can tell us about some of the players that you see here if you don't find your card. So you go ahead first.
Reggie Roby was a punter for the Miami Dolphins. Actually played against Reggie a couple of years. Yeah. Oh, this guy here was a menace. Simon Fletcher. Simon Fletcher played for Wade Phillips 3-4 defense. And actually, the school that he went to in Houston was called Bay City, Texas. He was a Bay City Black Cats. He went to the same high school that my best friend went to, who got drafted by the New England Patriots back in 1989, and that would be Hartley Dykes.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So Simon Fletcher and Hartley Dykes, same high school.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got Bobby Humphrey here.
All right.
Brent Forward from University of Auburn. David Little from Pittsburgh.
All right.
James Jefferson. Dennis Gibson. Shane Collin.
There you go.
No, Buffalo Bill. Ron Brown. Irvin Fryer, who was one of my best friends. Ray Childress, who was a number 2 pick in the 1985 draft behind Bruce Smith.
Okay.
And James Jones, running back for Detroit. Mark Duper, Super Duper. Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. Dan Marino. And Herb Eaton. Kansas City Chiefs. And the coach, Bill Walsh.
There you go. All right, so no Thurman Thomas in there. I'll do mine real quick because you got to get somewhere else. All right, got a Cleveland Brown right there. Felix Wright. Defensive back. Hartley Dykes.
Oh, my God.
Take
Hartley Dykes.
That's yours, all right? You can have that. You just mentioned Hartley. Art Still.
Offensive
lineman for the Buffalo Bills. Roy Green,
dual threat.
Yeah, he can get after it. EJ Jr., Rodney Holman, tight end for the Bengals back in the day. The
Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth, Oklahoma
I
guy.
hated everybody from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Everybody from the University of Oklahoma, I hate him.
I love it. Ironhead Hayward.
Yeah, he was part of that 1988
drafted ahead of you, right?
He
finished with more, like 8,000 more rushing yards than Ironhead, rest his soul, right? Steve Puller, okay, quarterback. Mike Pagel of the Cleveland Browns. Pat Leahy, kicker for the Jets. O'Brien Alston, I don't know him from the Colts. No clue. Just going in this year. How about that?
Roger Craig.
There he is. Class of 2026. A dual threat like this guy, Roger Craig, going into the Hall of Fame this year. Brian Sosha. And look at this.
Broadway Willie Joe.
How about that? So we didn't get your rookie card, but you got a Hartley Dice, and you got to go. So we'll let you get out of here. But thank you so much for coming on the Kenny and JT show and ripping with the road man. The one, the only Thurman Thomas. Thank you, Greeny Sports Cards, and we'll get this guy back whenever he's in town in August and rip some more cards with the Thurminator.
That was cool. They do.
Very
Kenny
cool.
does a great job with that. I watched the entire interview that he did on the Kenny and JT show, and Thurman Thomas has some unbelievable stories. So go check that out. Go to Kenny Rota's website. Go to their YouTube, the Kenny and JT show, and watch that. They have a Hall of Famer like every couple weeks in studio, and Kenny and JT do a great job with that.
Absolutely. Based down in Canton, where the Pro Football Hall of Fame is located. Our thanks to Kenny Rota, the Roadman, and Thurman Thomas for that very special segment. And our thanks to our sponsors as well. Joe mentioned pizza earlier. Our favorite pizza shop is Giannino's with locations throughout Ohio.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm a year older now, so Mommy can give me Giannino's pizza. Hey, whoever thought of making a great tasting Giannino's pizza with all these fresh ingredients? They gotta be some kind of genius. More, Mommy.
Every Giannino's pizza is made with fresh dough, delicious tomato sauce without additives or preservatives, and fresh provolone cheese shredded daily. For a location near you, go to Gianninos.com.
You want a piece of me?
Anytime.
I do want a piece of Giannino's. So our thanks to Giannino's. Greeny, we're gonna keep it rolling. We've got an extended card show live segment this week. You're gonna hit a couple of the shows, and then we've got two very special guests coming up, Ricky Line and Luke from the Louisiana Card Con. So let's get to it with Card Show Live.
We're back with a new edition of Card Show Live, and we want to get right into it because there is no shortage of shows. We've been off for 2 weeks, and we're back this Saturday. So the 21st, Saturday, February 21st, is the Kirtland Show, where everybody knows your name. What a great show that this is. It's been going on nearly 7 years, and it's a nice monthly family-friendly show. 40 tables, sports cards, Pokemon, the Kirtland Senior Center, historic Kirtland, Ohio. So this Saturday, February 21st, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So check us out there. If you're not going to be in Northeast Ohio, you may be in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and checking out BostonSportsMemorabilia.com show. Bill Bride has been running this show since 2023. Every month. It is the third Thursday of every month. And this is a sports card only show. And that's the way they've been doing it. 25, 30 tables, the Elks Hall. They get a nice group of vendors. They get a great group of dealers. And it's like a little club that, has been going on since 2023. And people come from all over there in the New England area. They have vintage, modern, graded. Dealers have built kind of a following for doing this show since 2023. And because of that, most of the dealers, they're repeat dealers, and they get a lot of new customers. So it's kind of an interesting show there if you're in the Northeast Ohio or Northeast New England area. BostonSportsMemorabilia.com. Then from there, another West Virginia show. And, we love West Virginia. We've been going there for a year now, but Grand Central Mall is this weekend, and that is run by the Pittsburgh Card Show guys. Bryce and Mark do a great job. They're bringing over 100 tables to Grand Central Mall in Vienna, West Virginia. So you can go to pittsburghcardshow.com. You can check out all their information, see all the different shows that they have. But this weekend, they are in Vienna, West Virginia. And when I say we, I am going to be in Nashville. Adam and Jacob will be in Kirtland, and I will be in Nashville for the National. We'll get into a lot more details later, but it's over 1,200 tables this time. It is at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Jeff Roberts and their crew do a terrific job. Tons of sports. I think they have 200 Pokemon tables. We'll get into more of that shortly with Ricky Line, but the National show, that will be in Nashville, Tennessee, February 2nd. And if you want to go down to the Castine Center in Louisiana and check out the Louisiana Card Con, 250 tables, NOLA's best card show. I think they have a couple of signers there. I think that was Bobby Hebert. I remember the baseball player. I can't remember offhand, but we're going to talk to Luke here in a second. Warren Norris. I think he was a Pirate, actually. And Bobby Hebert, you remember football in the 80s. I mean, that guy could sling it down there in New Orleans. But we're going to talk to Luke here in a second. We're going to talk about the Louisiana Card Con, everything that they have going on there. He has a guy, Chuck, that's been running this show. And without further ado, let's bring in Luke. Let's talk about NOLA and what's going on in the card community and everything around down there.
Hey guys, thanks for having us on.
Hey Luke, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
On Fat Tuesday, no less.
Yeah, it's Mardi Gras down here today, so it's kind of crazy, you know. Yeah,
probably
it's kind of crazy
on our part. But anyway, tell us a little bit about the show, if you have a little history of it and what people can kind of expect.
So Louisiana Card Con is in Mandeville, Louisiana. It's actually about 45 minutes from New Orleans. Chuck started this show a couple years ago. He started with a one-day show. He took it to a two-day show. It rapidly grew. He's got right at 270 tables now. He's got some attention. PSAs coming in for this one. I don't think they've ever been to Louisiana before. He's also got JSA on site doing authentication. And one of Chuck's big things is he wanted to create a long-running show and an affordable option. You know, he keeps admission low at $5, but he also has free signers. Like Warren Morris is signing free on Saturday. He's an LSU Tiger grade. He hit the walk-off grand slam against Miami, I think, in '97. And then on Sunday, Bobby Hebert signing free. Saints, he's a legend down here for the Saints, Cajun Cannon, and he's doing a free Pokemon tournament. So he's trying to keep and bring in new kids, keep the hobby going. So he's got a little bit of everything. You know, he's got, he tries to focus on a lot of stuff for the kids as well as all the way up to the higher end dealers as well. So he's been doing a real good job with it so far. The show's busting at the seams already. I think he's at 270 tables for this one.
That's terrific. Now, how long has this been running? And I know you said it was 1 day to 2 day, but do you know when they started?
So he started last year. He did two, I think, last year, or maybe one last year and then one. It was two last year, and then this is going to be the first one for this year. Last year, he brought in Coach Ogeron to sign for free, and some other LSU guys, and then he did one before that. So I mean, he's off and running now. Louisiana. In my opinion, and I'm biased because I'm here. There's a lot of great shows here in Louisiana. There's the New Orleans card show. There's this one here. There's other shows. There's some big time shops here as well, and it's kind of an underrated market in my opinion. A lot of people sleep on it until some of the national guys come into these shows and they realize what they can pick up down here. There's a lot of ripping going on at these shops.
That's terrific. You said Chuck. So Chuck has a shop as well, right?
Yeah. So Chuck's shop is Chuck's is in Albany, Louisiana. I think he's one of the, if not, I think he is the longest running card shop in Louisiana at this time. And yeah, he's been there for close to 40 years. He's got all the accounts, Tops and all that stuff, and Panini. He's been there for forever. But yeah, he's been right there, right off the interstate, little country town. And he's had shows before, but never to this magnitude. He always wanted to try and step it up. And I think his big deal was just trying to find a venue that would house it and be able to consistently give him dates. And so he went out and secured dates for like the next 3 years to really get this thing going as a regional stop for people.
Luke, you're down there in SEC country, and you've got the Hornets, you've got the Saints, of course. What are people clamoring for at these shows and in the shops?
Right now, Tyler Shuck. I mean, they're on him. They're definitely on him down here, and then Fears and Queen from the Pelicans. You're seeing some of that too. But definitely right now, if you had to pick one, they're going after Tyler. The way he finished this past year, he's the hot one.
Yeah, I mean, he was the offensive rookie of the year. And I mean, as a quarterback market goes, I mean, nobody was really hotter than him at the end. You wonder what would have been if he played all year.
Yeah, it's exciting. It definitely gives us Saints fans something to look forward to, because it was a rough year for sure.
Well, you don't have to tell us that. We live in Cleveland, Ohio. and that is the thing that we always get. That's the response we always get. But listen, Luke, we appreciate it. We can't thank you enough. We wish this show all the success. We'd love to hear back from you. We'll go over some of the other things that you have going on that we talked about, and the Golden Grading Company that you have. But as far as this show, I mean, we hope that it's a tremendous success. We'd love to hear all about it afterwards.
Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate the time.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Luke.
You have a good one. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Luke. Very cool stuff, Greeny.
Should have asked them what kind of food they have there. Can you imagine the jambalaya that they have?
Oh, at the show themselves? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Some good eating. So yeah, we'll have Luke back on. We'll check in. Before we segue into the national card show, we do want to mention another huge show coming up. Certainly is the Great Lakes Collectors Convention with the Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention. We've announced that it's out there. They're combined into a major show. We highly recommend that you jump on and get your tickets ahead of time. There are big savings, up to 30% if you get them now within the month of February. The prices will continue to rise, and all the way up through on site. So grab your tickets now, get your tables now. Space is filling up really quickly on the vintage side and the modern side in TCG. So if you've got a modern card shop or business or TCG, contact Greeny Sports Cards for your tables at the Great Lakes Collectors Convention Pavilion. If you are a vintage dealer, reach out to Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention. It's going to be a huge event. Speaking of huge events, something we aspire that event to be someday, Greeny, is the Nashville Card Show. And great perspective from Ricky Line coming up, who's been involved in that show for a long time and was with us at the first Great Lakes Collectors Convention, which we have now seen essentially double in size. So someday when we grow up, we hope to be as big as the National.
In Cleveland.
In Cleveland, yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring in Ricky. Let's talk a little bit about this show down in Nashville. Hey,
Steve and Jeremy.
Hey, we can. I know you're at a basketball game, but we got you.
I'm outside in my car, and I've got a little bit of time. All you need.
we appreciate you giving us a little bit of time. I'm going to be down there. Jeremy will be in Cleveland, but I come to the show all the time. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So it's growing, huh, Ricky?
It's beyond growing. This is crazy. I started with Jeff 15 years ago with 20 dealers once a month. Then after 5 years, he went to twice a month. And right before COVID, I talked him into doing a big one. I said, Jeff, they're just too much. And he put it together, and the first big one was 360 tables, and then 700 tables, and 850 last October, and this time it's 1222 or 1225. It's a lot.
It is. And speaking of a lot, if anybody's ever been a vendor, or even a customer at the show for that matter, but definitely a vendor, they have gotten a chance to meet you, and I don't know that anybody gets them in and out quicker at a card show than Ricky Line does, and so much that we had you at our first Great Lakes Collectors Convention. But what is it like when everybody shows up at once? And I mean, I watch you. I mean, you got hands flying everywhere. What's the system or method that you have there?
I try to be very fair. I try to keep them in mind who is next. I get them as close to where my job also is to know where their tables are so I can tell them where to park. And that's difficult on the new dealer. So all bets are off if it's your first time there. But most of them, I know where they've been. I know where to pull them up at, where to pull up, how close. My job is to get them in so that they can do their thing and then get the next people in. It's a challenge. I'm a math major. It's like a game, a struggle. But most people, as long as they know you're trying to get them as close to drop off point as you can, they're going to work with you.
Yeah.
Ricky, one thing we had heard about you in particular before we had a chance to work with you is not just the in and out, but your attention to customer service and commitment to the dealers, and whether that's walking around with change and being available or providing information. Talk a little bit about that approach and the importance of that, taking care of the vendors within the show itself, because really vendors are the foundation of these events.
The vendors are the foundation, and they've got to make money. And if they don't, I've got to give them every opportunity to make money. I can't sell their product for them. I can't make them bring better product, but I can give them the opportunity. I was a school superintendent, school principal in education 45 years. Managing people is something that I was pretty good at. And I coached basketball 25 years. So been around people, find out what they need. I've been to card shows where I needed to go to the bathroom so bad and I could not leave my table. My job is, if you're a single guy at a table or a single gal at a table, my job is to see you 3 times a day to see if you need to go to the bathroom. I walk around every other hour with change, 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. The people can bring the most. They know they've got enough, and then all of a sudden, 5 $100 bill comes. 5 of them come in a row, and they all bought $6 worth of stuff, and you're out of change. That's just added value that doesn't cost anything. But yeah, pay attention to details. See who's hurting. See who's not had some customers. And when the first one comes in, just say, hey, how about start on this side over here? Just little things to try and to keep the flow going.
And the flow in Nashville goes all day long, from the opening tip to really the final buzzer. It is a whirlwind of people at that show. And man, what do you look forward to the most when you get prepared? You're ready for this show. What are you looking forward to?
One is to see people I only see 3 times a year. We do this one 3 times a year. I know all of them that do our normal Lighthouse show in Nashville twice a month. I know them. I know their wife. I know their kids. These are people I'll see 3 times a year. My job is I'll wear something Cincinnati Reds all the time. They don't have to remember my name. They know that I'm wearing Reds. And in Nashville, I'm the only one wearing the Reds, so I'm easy to spot. Just yell at me and say, hey, Red man, I need this, whatever. I like the camaraderie of seeing people, and they'll, say, hey, you did a good job last time, or boy, can we do this, whatever. Second, I like looking at the product. Golly, there's so much to go around. And as I do visit with every dealer, every other hour, I'm eyeing the stuff. Holy cow, there's just so much now. And it's good. It's good.
It definitely is. It's so funny to say the way you just say it, how it is kind of a community. Like it's a 1,200 table show. There's 400 and some vendors, and there's umpteen thousand people that walk through, but it still feels like a small show, right? A lot of people know each other.
And we want it to be that way. And we are now, Jeff has done a good job of shifting the Pokemon out of their choosing to the second and the third room. And we've had 2 of our bigger dealers that had Pokemon and sports cards want to go to the third room, which is mostly Pokemon, because that's their value now. And they can always come back to the main room, first room, but they have seen the value of being in the second and third room where Pokemon are stacked. Uh, and that's a good thing. I know very little about Pokemon. I do know that the dealers bring them in little bitty satchels and set up a table, and they go home happy. And I can set up at I can have 4 tables at Jeff's $125 125 table show, and it takes me an hour to set up, an hour to tear down, and I'm happy to be there and make a little bit of money. And these guys, they roll in and roll out, and that's great. I'm glad for them. And a lot of them are there to buy. So if there's something you want to sell, man, bring it. There are people that dealers bring money to buy. They can make money buying.
No.
Ricky, we're well versed and are used to looking at floor plans, and we can look at something like that has over 1,000 tables and get our bearings. There's a lot of people coming to the hobby now and coming to shows for their first times or first couple of times. What advice would you give to people coming to the National that may feel overwhelmed or look at that they don't know one room from the other? What would you recommend somebody for their first visit?
One is wear soft shoes. And that is so important. 2 is find out where the bathrooms are as soon as you get in. And that seems funny, but it's not, because you'll be right in the middle of buying something and your little kid has to go. You need to orient yourself as soon as you walk in the room. And then I always like, when I go to a show I've never been to, and I try to go to a show almost every weekend, I always like to start on the right and then go and take a good mental picture of everything and then come back and buy. If something catches my eye that I know won't be there, I better buy it then, because so many times, you see something and say, well, I'll come back, or I want to compare prices. No, if it's a fair price, buy it then on site. But wear good shoes, orient yourself on where things are. And if you're taking kids with you, ours is a pretty safe place. We have a policeman in every room, but still have a point that every hour your 12 and 13-year-old is going to come back to you and check with you, just so that daddies and mamas don't get paranoid. I am on the PA, so if somebody ever does get lost or somebody's looking for somebody, we can locate them pretty quickly. But and then set your limit on what you want to spend, and then spend it. And again, when you see what you want, you may think it's going to be somewhere else at a lower price. It's probably not. The market is pretty well set. I may be a little high on some of my red stuff because I sell in Cincinnati stuff, but on the normal cards, you could comp me or anybody, and we're all pretty close. But if you see it and you like it, you better get it when you can, because I've seen many a person say, well, I'll come back and get that. They come back to a table and it's gone.
Yeah. We were talking earlier with Joe. This Saturday is Topps Hobby Rip Night, and I know
I heard that sounded good. Yeah,
it is, and I know, so we'll be in Nashville for that, and I know that there's a big trade night. I know that we have a lot of local shops there that get involved. Grand Slam will probably be, and Matt
they will.
from Underdog.
Yes.
Yeah. Have we heard, like, there is trade night going on? There we go.
Trade night is Saturday night. We used to have it Friday and Saturday. We have decided, and mainly for our Pokemon people, to stay open Friday night till 8:00.
Okay.
We have found out that Friday night closing at 6. A lot of people get off work at 4 and say, well, I'm not gonna, it's gonna be 4:30 before I get there. I think I'll pass, just wait till tomorrow. So we've watched and stole ideas from other people. And Friday night we're going to stay open till 8, no trade night. And Saturday trade night is from 6 till 10 or whenever it's over. But normally 4 hours is enough.
And people like to know this. I know this. You know this. The amount of security that's around during trade night.
We have no choice. Jeff pays out the wazoo to make sure there are policemen, certified policemen, there in the building and one outside the building, just to make sure. We're in a safe neighborhood down there in the fairgrounds, and they've got an event every weekend. But still saying that, we got to be careful. We got to be cautious. We got to know that something could happen, so prepare for it by having a policeman there. I learned in the school business nothing bad hardly ever happens when you have a teacher in the hallway. If there's not a teacher in the hallway, something stupid's going to happen. But just to see or just to hear that, hey, Mr. So-and-so's right down the hall, we got to be careful. That's enough threat. When nobody's there, a lot of bad things can happen. So yes, security is a vital part.
And there's another thing that I didn't notice. I've known this because I come but people that are coming for the first time, they always say, "Oh, the parking, it's $10 to park." That is the venue. That is not the show that charges that parking. So that is on the fairgrounds. It is $10 to park. I think it's cash only. I saw that. But that is money that goes to the fairgrounds and not to the promoter of the show. So
fairgrounds gets every bit of it. The fairgrounds gets all of the food. Jeff pays every dealer's $30 vending park. So he gives them a parking pass that Jeff has to pay $30 for every one he hands out, and they count them and they times 30 and tell him. So the dealers do not have to pay. And if you have 4 tables, you get 2 dealer passes, and 6, 3, and so forth. And we have some with 18 tables, and they may not need but 3 vendor passes. Well, that gives us an extra one to give 2 cars from one other person. So we try to spread it out, but the parking is hard. They have upgraded the parking this time. We got our parking scheme last night too, and I was highly impressed that they're giving us the main parking all the way around the building for our customers, which this is the first time they've ever done that. And one of the reasons is Jeff has rented all 3 buildings for all 3 days. So they've opened up the parking, although it doesn't come to him money wise, it can help a lot by people not walking too far.
Ricky, I want to take you back a little bit. You've got the Nashville show this weekend, not to be confused with the National that will take place in Chicago. My first National was in 2000 back in Anaheim. I've been to 16 at last count, been involved in that production. I know you've been there a long time as well. I can't help but think that first show post-COVID was pretty remarkable in Rosemont, and something had changed. The industry had changed. What have you noticed, and how do you feel about the industry these days from where we were 20, 25 years ago to the evolution where we are now?
I'm not saying it because I do this. This truly is a hobby for me. When I set up at a card show, whatever I make, and I'm going to spend it. I'm going to spend it back on cards. It's not, it's no big deal. I'm retired. I can do what I want to do in that sense. But the value of the bigger cards, it is really good. For people to have a player, or in my case, the Reds, I just want Reds. I'll buy something else to flip it. But I want to buy red so I can make sure I have one of everything, and then I'll flip whatever else is left. But I do think COVID changed a lot. People found cards in their basement. They were bored. They went to the barn and found them, or they went to the storage unit and found cards and said, hey, let's do this. And I think it made awareness, the awareness of there's money in this. And they're sitting on some stuff that, let's make some money out of it. And the good part is, find you a good dealer you can sell to. I would advise anybody. I did a show in Scottsboro, Alabama, and a guy came up with a Mantle rookie tops. And he looked at me and he says, I heard this card was good. I said, and I was the first table in the building. I said, sir, that's a really good card. He said, well, you give me for it. I said, I won't give you anything for it. I said, because I would rip you off if I took it. And I'm not saying that because I'm a good guy, but you need to take that to somebody who can get it graded to make sure it's for real, and do it down here in Alabama. So I gave him 5 names of 5 card shops that I had their cards on my table. I said, and just pick one. And if you don't like what they do the first time you deal, go to another one. But find you a local guy you can trust that's going to give you a fair price, give them a market of whatever's above 20%, 30%, whatever they need to make a living also. But there's money in it. And it's also, I like the find. I like when somebody walks in with something that I hadn't seen or something I'm looking for. And I think COVID has made people go out and find stuff, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, sure. It absolutely has. And that and the advent of all these TV shows and the pickers and the things like that, people are searching and people are finding the stuff that they had when they were kids and bringing it out. And there's no shortage of really cool, unique items that come out every single day.
One more thing, the kid involvement is not kid involvement anymore. The kid involvement is a serious business. My grandson, we have 4 grandsons, and one of them is 12. He went with me last Saturday for the first time, and I gave him $100, and he went and had a good time, had a ball, all this, but he didn't know what he was doing. He got him Pokemon, he got him basketball, football. He had a ball, but there are people there, the same age kids walk into the show. They know exactly what they've got. They know the last comps. And some of them, when they come to my table, I don't even comp it. I say, look, I know who you are. Tell me what it's worth. And they'll say, Ricky, it's worth, $400. And I said, well, I'll give you so-and-so. There's no need, because I know they comped it right. These kids, it's such a learning experience to handle money, to talk to an adult, and to make money and prepare for the future. It's such a learning experience for these kids.
It is. It's no question it is. And we see them at every show, the trade nights. There's a lot of kids that are joining this, which is a great thing.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And we look forward to seeing a ton of kids and a ton of adults in Nashville this weekend. And Ricky, we appreciate it.
Thank you. I thank you for letting me be a part of the first one up there. It's just such a long drive. But saying that, if I ever had a weekend, it's a good place to go visit.
Absolutely. You're on our radar every time. You always have a spot.
I appreciate it.
I will see you about 2:00 on Thursday.
I'll see you Tuesday afternoon. Hey, help my son get a win tonight. We won 3 in a row. He has struggled all year. He's lost 3 starters to injuries, and he's the high school coach, and he's won 3 in a row, and the tournament is next week. So we're trying to get a senior night win here. So say a little one for him, all right? Thank
you guys.
It.
Thanks, Ricky.
See you, Jeremy.
You got it. Thanks, Ricky.
Yep.
All right, Greeny. Our thanks to Ricky Line, Nashville Card Show, the National down there. Our thanks to Luke from the Louisiana Card Con as well. Thanks to Kenny Rhoda, the Roadman, along with Thurman Thomas, Hall of Famer, for ripping with the Roadman here, to Joe Wismirski out at Phoenix Sports Cards, to Haley on the board doing her magic behind the scenes out not just tonight, but throughout the week. And thanks to all of you for tuning in, for continuing to like us on socials, to follow us, to spread the word about what we're doing here week over week on Greeny Sports Cards Live. We've got, of course, the Great Lakes Collectors Convention, a Strongsville Collectors Convention coming up April 10 through 12 here in Independence, Ohio. You've got the Kirtland Show coming up this weekend. You've got a Broadview Heights show coming up on the heels of that. Lots of other shows. So make sure you get to greenysportscards.com or greenyshows.com to check out all of the upcoming shows, of which there's a total of 31 this year, Greeny. Pretty remarkable. So most of all, thank you, Greeny, for allowing us to do this week over week, every Tuesday night. No auction tonight. Alex is still on paternity leave, as it were, but he'll be back, as he does Tuesday and Thursday nights, for the eBay Live auction. Until then, we will be back next Tuesday night, as we do every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Greeny, may the cards forever be in your favor.
Absolutely. Another week, another great show. And the guest next week is going to be a lot of fun, too. So we can't wait for that. Thanks all for watching. Have a good night, everybody.